Woof. Donald Trump just kicked one of his most loyal companions upstate to a farm. Kristi Noem walked into a Senate hearing room on Tuesday, sat right in front of her husband, and was growled at about an alleged affair with her advisor, Corey Lewandowski. She was grilled about spending $220 million of your money on ads that starred herself. Representative Jared Moskowitz sat wearing a pin, demanding justice for the dog she famously shot in a gravel pit. Rest in peace, Cricket. And then she put it in a book. Her shooting her dog, saying it showed something about leadership or something. For Kristi Noem, it was a rough couple of days. And by Thursday, she'd been put down. And here's my take before I fetch you any of the details. The people celebrating this firing, I think they're pretty much barking up the wrong tree. Not because Noem was a good girl, no, because she was catastrophe on a leash. But this changes nothing. New dog, same old tricks. And that's what no one wants to speak out loud about. Look, Trump fired Noem on Thursday, and it's going to be effective March 31st. And an administration official said the decision came from, quote, a culmination of her many unfortunate leadership failures. Minnesota fallout, that ad campaign, the infidelity allegations, the $75 million love palace in the sky, the fights over FEMA. And of course, she didn't handle the news with grace. She went ahead and gave a speech that was scheduled in Nashville. She didn't even mention the firing. She may not have even known about it. She just went out there and performed like a golden retriever that doesn't know that the ball really isn't coming back. And Trump said that Noem served us well, which is the exact thing you say before you send a dog to live with a nice family in the country. In Noem's case, the nice family in the country is going to be called the Shield of Americas. That's her new title, whatever the hell that means, Special Envoy for the Shield of Americas. So look, she's basically been given a bone and told to stay. And now it's just going to be chaos. Now, I do want to talk about the hearing, though, because it was something, especially what came from the Republicans. And I think that's ultimately what kicked her to the curb. Senator John Kennedy, a Republican, asked about the $220 million ad campaign, saying that it troubled him. Tom Tillis, a Republican from North Carolina who's been extremely outspoken lately, called Noem's tenure a disaster, told it to her face. And he said that she had demonstrated anything but exceptional leadership. That is your own party holding up a newspaper and calling you a bad dog in front of the entire Senate. And then there was Moskowitz, wearing that pin to Cricket. He showed up to a hearing wearing a memorial pin for Cricket, that wire-hair pointer that Noem shot and wrote about it in her memoir, thinking that it was going to be some determination of grit. And then, to top it all off, Moskowitz posted essentially what was a ASPCA tribute video in Noem's memory. And look, Moskowitz was there to make sure that even in her final days at DHS, that the story that followed her like a shadow was that of Cricket, which honestly is the most dogged piece of congressional trolling of this administration. Of course, not getting any better is going to be her replacement, Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin, former MMA fighter, Trump calling him, quote, a MAGA warrior, and a former undefeated professional MMA fighter. That's the lead-in for the resume of the person that is running the third largest department in the federal government. Trump didn't talk about his policy credentials, nothing about management experience. Former fighter. Hell, this guy once tried to physically fight a union leader during a Senate hearing until Bernie Sanders had to tell him to heel. Let's watch a clip of that. It's crazy.
Sir, this is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, we can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big
No,
guy.
no, stop it.
Is that your solution every
Hold it. No, sit down. Sit down.
Look at you.
You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay.
Sit down, please.
All right.
Can I respond, Mr.
Hold
Chairman?
it. Hold it. If
Hold
we
on.
can't, no,
This is
I have
what
the
he
mic.
said.
I'm sorry.
This is
Hold
what
it.
he said.
You'll have your time.
Okay.
Can I respond?
Oh, no, you can't. This is a hearing. And God knows the American people have enough contempt for Congress. Let's not
I don't
make
like
it worse.
thugs and bullies.
You have,
And that's
you
what-
have
I don't
the
like
mic.
you because you
Hold
just
it.
described yourself.
Hold it. You have the mic.
Yeah.
You have time.
All right.
Make your statement.
Then let's do this, because I did challenge you, and I accepted your challenge, and you went quiet.
No, I didn't go quiet.
Hold on.
You challenged me to a cage match,
No,
acting like a
sir.
12-year-old schoolyard bully.
Excuse
Sir,
me.
hold on.
Hold it. No, excuse me. I have the
I will
mic.
say exactly.
Senator
what you
Mullen,
said.
I have the mic. You have questions on any economic issues, anything that said, go for it. We're not here to talk about physical abuse.
You brought.
We're not
him
talking
in.
about. Of course, I
And,
did.
and let me
He's-
let me show you his hearing, because I want to expose this thug to who he is. And
Could you not point at me? That's disrespectful.
All right.
I don't care about respecting you at all. I respect
don't
people that
respect you at all.
respect. So
All right, hold it.
let me
Hold it. No.
You're one of
No,
100 of the most
Hold
elite
it,
people.
please.
Act it.
Please. All right.
And here's the thing about swapping out the top dog of DHS. The invisible fence doesn't move. We did this already. Remember Greg Bavino, the Border Patrol commander, the face of the Minneapolis crackdown? When the operation started and people got shot, someone had to take the fall. Bavino got the leash yanked right out from under him, and Tom Homan came in. A little friendlier on camera, but the operations didn't stop, the crackdown didn't stop. They just put a different dog out on the porch. Look, Stephen Miller is still the master. He still runs all the immigration policy of this country. He's always run it. And anyone who's in charge of DHS, they're just the face that goes on television to explain why that thing that Stephen Miller already decided to do is good and probably legal. Look, Noem was willing to call 2 people killed by federal agents domestic terrorists without any evidence. She was willing to suspend TSA pre-check during a government shutdown. She was willing to spend $220 million making herself the face of mass deportations. Now, you're going to have Mark Wayne Mullen doing the exact same things. He's just going to do it without a memoir chapter about shooting the family pet. But I would say he's more pit bull than golden retriever. He's shorter fuse, faster to bite, and obviously less likely to write a book about it. But the operations are going to continue. The deportations are going to continue. The constitutional shortcuts and the constitutional crisis will continue. Look, they didn't put down the policy. They just got a new handler. Noem spent an entire year being the most visible face of the cruelest part of the Trump regime's agenda. She rode along on the raids. She made the ads. She called grieving families terrorists. She fetched every stick that Stephen Miller threw. And in the end, Trump just sent her to a farm upstate. Even Old Yeller had a better run. Doesn't it seem like our feeds are getting filled with more and more BS right-wing MAGA content? It's no secret that all these top tech bros are in love with the current regime, so it's no surprise that independent left-leaning media is being squashed by the algorithm. If you like our content and content like us, it doesn't take long to click that thumbs up, share, comment, or subscribe. So please help us keep the truth alive.